about the IRS and other things that are happening. Why isn't Congress doing anything on some of these important issues? We are. Don't count on the media to tell you that we are. Please don't. I hope you don't believe that. Just because you don't hear about it doesn't mean something's not happening. It's happening. It's happening every day. And we're making connection after connection after connection. So it started off, we started a year and a half ago. Asked them questions, and there was denial, denial, denial. It never happened, never happened, never happened. Then finally there was an admission that, yeah, there was some things done to certain groups to keep them from getting a 501c4. Well, once that took place, we began investigating. And that investigating led to this statement. It's 2 rogue employees in Cincinnati that did it. Well, we talked to them and all their cohorts, and that didn't happen. They're pointing their finger to Washington. And it's made it all the way, as we do these oversight hearings, we can't fire anybody. We can't get dismissed people. That's not what we can do. We can investigate. We do 2 things. We make policy and we do oversight. And this oversight committees are moving step by step through these things. So all those things that have come out about it being more than just 2 rogue employees, all those things have come out, it's taken it all the way to the General Counsel and the IRS. All the things that now have just come out, connected with not just the IRS, but with the Federal Elections Commission and with the Securities and Exchange Commission. All were trading emails. All we're doing things to do one thing. One thing. This is all it is. Now, please understand that this is the primary goal, and that is to dismantle free speech. That's what it's about. You may not make those connections, but that's what this whole thing was what? To pressure people that were saying the wrong things, and to reward those that are saying the right things. And so whether it's the SEC pressing down on companies who give to the wrong people, or it's the Federal Elections Commission who start pressuring candidates and other people and doing investigations and so forth, or it's the IRS who end up auditing people that just all of a sudden popped up on a list that they made. So, and somebody asked about, they wanted me to answer about another list that the government should have. Do you think, does anybody here really believe that the government should have one more list that they can take and use for political purposes? Absolutely not. So you're going to do a registry. That registry would be used just like these other things are used. And now we're going to turn our healthcare records over to the IRS? No.
Why did you vote against the NSA amendment then?
Let's close them.
Well, we'll get to that. But in the end, we're going to do these investigations. We're going to do step by step by step. Please understand, it takes a long time to get to them, but yet we're going to do it. And so we've moved from nothing to 2 rogue employees to pointing the finger at Washington to the General Counsel of the IRS to the SEC and the FEC. It just takes time, but we're going to expose it. We will. And if you take other investigations like Benghazi and like Fast and Furious and these other ones, which were I guess, phony scandals, whatever, they can go look at one.
Why isn't everybody older in jail?
You have the right to pass the laws. You have the right to subpoena. You have the right to hold it.
I let you talk. Now I want you to listen. Okay, well, I'm answering these questions, and you can go about that. We have used all of those rights. We can't pass laws. We can pass positions out of the House of Representatives. We cannot make the Senate. We have held Eric Holder in contempt of court, but that by law is enforced by the Attorney General. So now we have taken him to civil court to get a contempt of Congress in civil court. It just takes time, but we're going to get there. We're not stopping. We're not moving. We're moving forward, step by step by step, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. We will. So we're going to get to the bottom. Then there is the issue of immigration. Let me tell you where I am. And then I'll tell you how we're going to make that happen. Number 1, we seal the borders first. That's it. It becomes the trigger for anything else. And until they're sealed, they're not sealed. And that's the key. So you want to say they can jump the fence or whatever? No. We're setting up a matrix. We're going to have a plan that says they have to be 90% secure. That's not going to be given to the Department of Homeland Security to turn the switch on or off. No. It's going to be done by the Government Accountability Office. It's going to go through a checklist that we provide that says it's secure. And until that takes place, that's what we call first. You're going to see the House go step by step again.
What about the
taking up
asylum
a comprehensive
request?
bill. We're taking up separate issues on each one. There is that. I know a lot of people saying, well, why don't you arrest people that break the law? They don't break the law. 40% of the people that come here are here because they came legally. But now their visa ran out. Okay?
The violation of the
Just
law.
a minute. Just a minute. No. There's no violation of law. So you wonder, why can't local law enforcement enforce a law? There is none. So the courts will not allow them to detain someone who has not broken a law. It's not even a misdemeanor. So please understand that. But what we want to do is make it to where they can do that. We can't solve this problem with just the Department of Homeland Security. We need the state law enforcement officers. We need the local law enforcement officers to band together to say we're going to enforce internally. There's the internal enforcement. There's the external by sealing the borders. And the sealing of the borders too is more than just that issue. It is a national security issue. There are people coming across our borders that have nothing to do with coming here and working, even if they're coming across in the wrong way. No. It's people who are coming here to do harm, to be drug runners, to be human traffickers and other things, which have got to stop. So there's a huge reason why we do that. The internal enforcement also helps take care of that. Those are two big things. I mean, we've got to do those things. And there's going to be triggers that say it's done, it's complete, it's there. And I agree with E-Verify or a program like E-Verify that says, okay, you have to be here lawfully in order to take the shot. And so there's where I am there. There's somebody yelled out about the NSA. Just to sum that up, I'm not here. I can't defend some things just because I was there when they did these top secret sessions where they gave us classified information. I can't use that information to defend and vote out to it. What I will tell you this, myself and Michelle Bachman, who was there, and some others who were there, listen to General Alexander. I trust him. He's a 4-star general. He is a hero. He is a patriot. And he explained why, although I can't tell you all the explanation, he explained why they needed to do what they were doing. They don't listen to phone calls. They don't know your name. Here's what happens, and this is the answer. This is what twisted me the other way, and this is it. If there were a known terrorist in a foreign country, which is who they work with, at least that's who they're investigating, General Alexander's investigating. And if they were to call, let's say, someone in the United States, a citizen, and let's say they called them 25 times in the last 5 days, 10 minutes to call. If that amendment had passed, they would not be able to do anything with that person, even though they got 25 calls from a known terrorist, 10 minutes each in a 5-day period of time. That's too much. It is. Does NSA need to be clipped? And yes, it does. And will that take place when we actually do the substantive policy bill? It will. But as far as eliminating that, I can't go that far. We've had 54 instances where another 9/11 could have happened in Florida using this program. I don't trust Eric Snowden. He can say stuff that's this and that and the other, but I don't know whether to believe the guy or not. So here, that's where I am. I do believe General Alexander. And I do believe that what I heard, and like I said, Michelle Bachman and some other conservatives, Mike Rogers, who's the chairman of our Intel committee, they were there. And we all asked questions, lots of them, and we put them on the line. But anyway, that's where I am with that. There was yes or no on the fair tax. Am I going to co-sponsor? Probably not, but I'm the hardest co-sponsor in the Congress. There's very few things I co-sponsor because I don't have control over. And in the end, do I favor that? I favor anything, including the fair tax. If it came up for a vote, I'd vote for it because I believe it's something that we got to do something. We have, I don't know, 12, 15 million words in a tax code. Nobody knows what's in it. I'm for yanking all that out. I take around, I don't have it with me tonight, but a 2013 income tax form. The lowest percentage is 1%, the highest was 6%, and there was nothing else. It was one page of instructions, one page. Put in the amount you make, multiply it times 1%, and that's your tax. Done. And so there's no winners and losers, no favorites. Nobody pays 0 and somebody else pays, 50 or whatever. No, it's just a simplified form of one page. If we could go to that, I'd do it. If I get a chance to vote on it, I'd do it.
Until it's amended.
Anything can be amended. But the point is, we have to have tax reform. If we do it, we're going to get the economy rolling. I mean, in the end, we need jobs. We need people that are employed. We need to lower. We've come to believe that 7.5% is kind of a good unemployment number. It's a bad unemployment number. Until we get below 5%, it's not even worth talking about. People want me to do a statement every month when it goes up a point or down a point or a tenth of a point. It really doesn't matter. We have got to make considerable progress there. We can do it by modifying our tax code, by expanding the economy, not growing the economy at 1.5%, which is done all through this presidency, but at one point, instead of that, we need to grow 4 or 5% in the economy. When we do that, there'll be people paying, and there'll be jobs created, and this economy can get rolling again. We need to squeeze down on regulations, and I was part of a bill that does that. It brings regulations even back to the Congress for approval if they're major regulations. So there are a lot of issues out there, and that's a few of the answers. And here's what I'd like you to do. We might be able to get a little further down the road, so let's just try that, and I'll try to answer them. So right over here.
My name is Nancy Sullivan. I live in Mount Dora. My question and concern is Benghazi. What is going on? Everybody is tripping over themselves, trying to hide the truth. There were 4 men that were murdered, including our ambassador, and it looks like we're not really doing anything. And I have another question.